Man, so before we get into the nitty gritty of the stuff, I want to talk about some of the goofy stuff that I've seen over the last couple of days. Did y'all see this clip by Tim Pool? Shout out to this guy, my guy, Middle MAGA, man. Because this clip that he posted, he be catching people saying some wild stuff. And he is not necessarily a fan of Tim Pool, but he enjoys his work sometimes. I'm not a fan of Tim Pool, but he enjoys it sometimes. And by the way, shout out to my Rockfin crew. Hey, Ren, what's going on? Appreciate you. He's talking about my background. Everybody thinks the background, they're freaked out by it because it looks real, but it's a cartoon. And I was like, well, how does a cartoon look that real? Yeah. He likes some of Tim Pool's stuff, but Tim Pool, for a long time, when it came to this issue of Israel, y'all notice he was kind of like tiptoeing. And y'all know what people with platforms that big, they got a responsibility. They got a responsibility to those people, to them. Y'all know who them peoples is, right? And so it was only going to be a matter of time because a lot of people didn't really know where Tim Pool stood on this issue because he was always saying, I'm just trying to learn more. I'm against terrorism, okay? And I don't believe in kidnapping hostages or bombing innocent people, and I'm anti-war. But, you know how it go, right? But then he made this comment, and my man's Middle MAGA caught it. So let's go ahead and check it out.
And I think we're wasting money on foreign excursions. Here's the problem. When Nick Fuentes says independence from Israel, I assure you the average person believes that's ridiculous. They have their audience. The average person likes Israel. They do not agree with Nick Fuentes on this one. The other big issue is that a lot of Christians and a lot of evangelicals want us to help Israel because of the Holy Land. Regardless, my attitude is this. My guy, I'm trying to go.
The average person likes Israel? Who's average? What average person? Has he not seen, I don't know, any poll? Bro, literally, this is when I joke on Twitter all the time, y'all. When I see clips like this from people who I give them credit because I'm like, damn, I know what you want to say at the beginning of all this. I knew what people like Tim Pool, for example, or Tucker Carlson. I know what you want to say, but I'll give you credit for not going full Zionist to protect yourself because I know that you really, really, really should, to protect your career. You shouldn't because that's duplicitous, right? It's the wrong side of history, et cetera, et cetera. But I manage my expectations. I am a person who manages my expectations. And when it comes to people like Tim Pool, Tucker Carlson, a bit, even Candace to some degree, you don't get that famous without tiptoeing, right? You be stuck over here with me, okay? Because we keep it a band over here. So you don't get to be that famous when you keep it in a band for a living. So you keep it a band, you can't make bands. They contradict, unfortunately. But with Tim, he got the call. And that's what I mean. When they get the call, this is what happened. The majority of people like Israel, bro. The ADL don't even believe that. Remember that whole TikTok situation that arose when they had a poll come out and they were like, yeah, man, we just found out nobody likes us. So this is a generational problem. The majority of the country does not support what Israel is doing right now. The majority of the country, multiple polls. Yeah. Do evangelicals, extremist evangelicals, support it because of some shit that they think is going to happen because of the Bible? Yeah. But even those people, that is a minority of Christians. That is not the majority of even Christians. So saying it's weird to come when you have people like Tim Pool who've kind of been tiptoeing a little bit and they come out of nowhere, because Nick Fuentes, he's an idiot, but whatever. Because Nick Fuentes, but he's an idiot, but he's popular. So now Tim, who is at a relative level of popularity himself, I would say close to on par with Nick Fuentes, he got to come out. Yeah, hey man, so you know how we've been letting you live? We ain't really been on your ass like that about Israel. You've been kind of waffling a little bit or playing both sides. Yeah, that both sides shit, that's over. you better come get Nick, come get your boy. Because you're also conservative. I mean, he called himself a liberal, but he's not. He's a conservative. That's his audience. He has a lot of the same audience as Nick, right? So he gets the call. He gets the call because now you got to keep your man. Like whenever leftists or excuse me, liberals get calls about Bree, for example, right? Conservatives, Ben Shapiro, for example, got the call. He was always pro-Israel, but his stance on how to deal with people being pro or anti-Israel and free speech, that actually did change, which we covered a while back. He got a call about Candace, rope your people in. And that's what this is about. That's why this clip is significant, because this is not the same Tim Pool that was interviewing Max Blumenthal a few months back.
Go to people and say, America first. And the first thing that pops in their minds is Nick Fuentes hates Israel. What does that have to do with us securing our borders, bringing jobs back?
Hold on. I need to hear that again.
Do with us securing our is Nick Fuentes hates Israel.
No, hold on.
Want us to help Israel because of the Holy Land. Regardless, my attitude is this, my guy, I'm trying to go to people and say, America first. And the first thing that pops in their minds is Nick Fuentes hates Israel.
Bro, no. That's giving Nick, damn, that's really giving Nick a lot of credit. That's giving Nick Fuentes a lot of credit. The average person, whenever I think about America first, like, I don't think about Nick Fuentes. I actually think about Trump still, and probably his most popular supporters at the time. That's what I think about. I think about the hypocrisies that I've seen when it comes to people who talk about America first. Like, okay, if you want America first, and you got, like, for example, protecting our borders, right? Or protecting America's borders, which I believe is important, right? Then stop waging war in other people's countries. Stop spending our money to wage war and overthrow governments in other people's countries when you know it's going to cause direct damage to America, who you're supposed to care about more than anybody because it's your country, right? Nobody thinks like, man, America first. That guy, Nick Fuentes, and his comments on Twitter, who thinks about that?
What does that have to do with us securing our borders, bringing jobs back, getting rid of people like Joe Biden, getting accountability for the corruption, cleaning up our streets?
Hold on, what? No, we got
Biden getting accountability have to do with us securing our borders, bringing jobs back, getting rid of people like Joe Biden, getting accountability for the corruption.
Hold on, real quick. What is
jobs back?
What is now? Look, I'm not defending Nick Fuentes here. Okay, so let's be clear. But did he just ask, what does calling out Israel and Zionism have to do with securing our borders, or more specifically, getting rid of Joe Biden, calling out corruption, cleaning up our streets, if you will, which I'm assuming is a reference to crime. What? Hold on. We do know that Israel is responsible for almost every single major war that we've been to in the Middle East, and even some of the conflicts that we're engaged in Africa, that we spent our wasted money on, threw money out the damn door, that only went to massacring Muslims and Arabs all over the Middle East, Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, and obviously in Palestine, right? Throwing that money out the window. We haven't gotten any the people, somebody, Lockheed Martin might have got a return on their investment, right? Boeing might have got a return on their investment. We ain't got no return on that investment. Why do these politicians pander to Israel? Because they are aware that as long as I pander to Israel, there will be no consequences or accountability for the corruption. So in that regard, Tim is wrong. And it's weird that, what does that have to do with getting Biden out? Literally, we're in a conversation right now, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this isn't to give credit to Nick. This is more so about the Arabs and Palestinians that have joined together to make it clear that they're not going to vote for Joe Biden because of this conflict in Gaza. Right now, Biden is about to lose an election, and the Democrats are probably going to be taken down with him because of Biden's stance on Israel. At least, probably because he's always waffling, one, but two, he's pro-genocide. He sends weapons to Israel that are then used to kill Palestinians. He answers to AIPAC. He answers to Bibi Netanyahu, at least in private, even if he is trying to pretend to distance himself in public. But the reason that people feel pressured to answer to Bibi Netanyahu in Israel is because of AIPAC and their loyalty and the money that they offer. And the fact that that foreign power has, for some reason, they have so much influence over our democracy that you can be literally, they can just draw a new district like they did with Cynthia McKinney and drop you. So yeah, that also has to do with getting Joe Biden out of power and holding him accountable for corruption. Right? It's it's weird that Tim is doing this, is my point. This is weird. Because Tim, even when he's bullshitting, because Tim is known for that, he's at least logical. Like, he don't really do this fake emotional, like these fake emotional suppositions. These like, oh, let me appeal, these fake emotional appeals to anger and frustration. Like, no, he's usually anti this. But hey, man, when you get the call, code Yarmulke.
Back, getting rid of people like Joe Biden, getting accountability for the corruption, cleaning up our streets. No idea. No idea. I believe, whether intentionally or not, it is sabotaging the idea of America first. They take the name, they take the brand, and they taint it. They poison the well. That's why a lot of people accuse him of being a Fed. I don't know about all that.
Oh,
what I can tell you is,
hey, man, a lot of people accuse Tim of being the Fed, so I guess he would know. I mean,
there's a lot of people who aren't going to say America first, because Nick Fuentes certainly is the most famous person pushing that message. Now, I do get it.
Is he? I don't know. Y'all gotta let me know about that one. I didn't know that he was the most famous person.
Donald Trump pushed that message too, but Nick has run this brand. And so what happens is a lot of people are going to begin to associate America first with strict anti-Israel policy.
So what you're saying is Trump might get some votes because of this? Because if I don't know if you're making the argument you think you're making. People are going to associate America first with strict anti-Israel policy. Oh shit! Well, I'm a leftist, but if that's what America first is going to be going forward, I might have to reconsider who I might be supporting going forward. Because if that's what America first, if you go up to a random person who's on the fence but is passionate about this particular issue, and they hear, well, America first is principally and primarily referring to strict anti-Israel policy because of how much this foreign power influences our democracy in ways that directly conflict with the interests of the American people. Well, shit, where do I sign up? I don't know if Tim thought that shit through before he said that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't care about Israel. I don't want to fund Israel. It means as much to me as Burma and Saudi Arabia does. I have questions.
See, this is, y'all gotta be careful here, because like, oh man, it means as much as me as Burma and Saudi Arabia. Those are three different like stratospheres of foreign policy. And why would you say that? Like, funding Israel? No, funding Saudi Arabia also means something to me because they participated. A lot of what's happening in Israel and Palestine right now was somewhat facilitated by past actions of Saudi Arabia. Weapons deals and things like that. A lot of what Israel does in Syria is facilitated by terrorist organizations that Saudi Arabia funds to kind of give cover to Israel. Like, they coordinate together. Like, so yeah, no, that's important too. But Burma is like, okay, why would you put Burma, Saudi Arabia, and Israel? This is the shit I be doing, bro. But like I said, you can't be famous and smart and honest. Like, you can't be this famous and smart and honest. So yeah, whatever.
About our